Good evening, and I'd like to call to order our Tuesday, August 21st, 2018 Piqua City Commission meeting. Let us stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have our roll call, please?
Mayor Hines.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Short.
Here.
Okay, and we next have our announcements. Do we have any announcements this evening? If not, we will move to our Resident Pride Awards. We have 5 Resident Pride Awards this evening, and you will see them come up on the screen. The first one is Rebecca Brinkman, 241 Broadway Street. And the next one is Barbara and Carl Brush, 403 Kit Street. Next one is Tara and Andy Hall, 823 West Water Street. And then we have Morris Comfort Systems, 401 South College Street. And finally, we have Linda and Steve Nash, 707 Lindsay Street. So we thank the citizens for the wonderful work that they have done on their homes. And just a reminder to our citizens, you can nominate your neighbors and send that information into the city manager's office. It's a wonderful way to acknowledge the good work that people are doing in keeping their property up and just making our city a more beautiful place. So we give thanks for those 5 different homes and the individuals involved or businesses to keep up their residents. So thanks for the good work that those citizens have done here in our community. And now we move to executive session. It is for 2 things: to consider the purchase or sale of property for public purposes and to consider pending or imminent litigation. So I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
Has been moved and seconded. We need a roll call, please, then.
Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Commissioner Short.
Aye.
Commissioner Lee.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hines.
Aye. We are adjourned to executive session. Okay, we are back in session, and we move to the consent agenda.
There is one item on the consent agenda tonight. It's the approval of the minutes from the July 17, 2018 regular city commission meeting.
I move we approve the consent agenda. Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The consent agenda passes. And now we move to our new business. The first is ordinance number 12-18. This is a first reading.
An ordinance repealing Schedule A of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code and adopting a new Schedule A of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code relating to wages of certain municipal employees.
Ms. Bogan will provide the staff report.
Thank you. Schedule A pertains to the salaries of full-time, non-union employees. The position of Assistant City Manager, Economic Development Director has been removed. The position of Community and Economic Development Director has been added.
And this was at my request to change this position to remove the Assistant City Manager and focus on community and economic development for this particular position.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission on this ordinance?
Yeah, where do the wages come from? I mean, how do you figure out the price to offer somebody for a community and economic development director?
Well, we have a grade for that position. It's 19 as listed in that, and it's within that range.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
And the assistant, that position was previously a 20, grade 20, so it's less pay for that position.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? Do we have any questions or comments from the public on this ordinance? If not, this will stand as our first reading. And now we move to ordinance number 18, I'm sorry. This is our first reading of this ordinance as well.
An ordinance repealing Schedule A1 of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code and adopting a new Schedule A1 of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code relating to wages of certain municipal employees.
I'd ask the commission to consider waiving the 3 readings on this one because these positions are, since school has started, we want to try to get these positions in the school as soon as possible. So we'd ask your indulgence on that.
Can you explain them as well, though?
The position? Absolutely. I'll call on Chief Jameson. He's been working with the school superintendent, Dwayne Thompson, on this, and I'll ask him to share with you what the position will be doing.
So the public knows.
Sure. So this was in response to trying to get some responsible people with weapons inside the school, and without using necessarily the SRO concept. 2 of you are real familiar with SROs.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be different in that a big part of SRO programming is spending time with the kids in the classroom, integrating with the school staff. This is going to be much more security oriented. Matter of fact, that's going to be their only function, to try to be at the most vulnerable places as they identify during a school day, so they're in the right place at the right time if anything bad were to happen. So they will be sworn police officers, mostly performing security functions in the schools.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission on this ordinance?
Can I make a motion to waive the 3 reading rule?
Yes, you may.
I'll make that motion then. Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor of waiving the 3 reading rule, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the 3 readings have been waived. Any other comments or questions from the commission on this ordinance?
Yeah, is this a full-time job, or is this just going to be when you figured out when they need to be at a particular place?
Right. It'll be filling full-time hours with 2 part-time positions. And we're really targeting retired police officers, guys that have already been kind of run the race and know what they're doing. So, and retirees are sometimes more likely to respond to part-time positions. So this will be 40 hours a week, but filled with 2 part-time officers.
Okay.
And I should add that we will be reimbursed from the schools. The schools will actually be paying for these positions.
Oh, okay, cool.
And this is in addition to the resource officer that we already have in the school, correct?
Yeah, we call it a protect officer,
Yeah.
but they'll still be doing their thing, stopping into the school, spending quite a bit of time. Pretty much their entire shift during the school year ends up being in one school or another.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Move we adopt ordinance 13-18.
Let me see.
Second.
Hold on. Do we have any public comment on this ordinance? Okay, now, Bill, go ahead.
Move we adopt ordinance 13-18.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ordinance passes. Now we move to resolution number R-108-18.
A resolution authorizing a purchase order to Reineke Ford Lincoln Incorporated for the purchase of a Ford 350 truck for the Public Works Department.
Mr. Brookhart will provide the staff report.
Good evening. The Public Works Department went out to bid for a new 1-ton dump truck for the Parks Department. We only received 2 bids back for this truck. Reineke Ford Lincoln Corporation came back with the lowest bid for a 2019 Ford F-350 truck for $39,753. This truck will be replacing a 2001 F-350 that we currently have. This bid also went out to our local dealer, and they did not respond with a bid for this.
What is the state purchasing agreement price for this truck?
The
Did you check?
state contract.
This,
The state contract for buying product, trucks, dozers, whatever. What was their price for buying this truck?
I am not aware of what the state
They-
bid price.
Did they have those dump trucks on state contract? I'm not sure, so I don't know.
I'm not sure if they did. That's why we went out to bid for it.
I would say until we know for sure, we probably shouldn't
We
vote
could-
on this. Or we should move it to the next meeting.
You can table it to the next meeting.
How many
We
miles
could-
is on the 2001?
I know it has under 100,000 miles. I'm not,
That's a lot.
it's for what we have used the truck for around town, it has a lot of miles
I
on
have
it.
no doubt. I have no doubt. We just need to check.
We will, we can go back
Make
and
the
check
motion.
on the.
I move we table this until the next commission meeting.
I second that.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, it has been tabled. And now we move to resolution number R-109-18.
A resolution to authorizing a purchase order to Collida Truck Incorporated for the purchase of a dump body for the Public Works Department.
Well, depending on what you
Well,
do, you might as well
We'll
table
hold,
this
Yeah.
one.
Typically,
yeah,
it'd be
we'll
late
hold
before it
off
goes on
on
the
this
truck.
as well.
I move that we table this resolution until our next commission meeting.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it has been tabled. And now we move to resolution number R-110-18.
A resolution authorizing a purchase order to R.L. Parsons and Son Equipment for the purchase of a slope mower for the Public Works Department and Water Department.
Mr. Brookhart.
Yes, the Public Works Department and the Water Department would like to purchase a new Bomford Flailbot remote control slope mower with accessories such as high grip tracks, 60-inch flail head, a 50-inch forestry head, and rear winch for the Street and Water Department. For your information, over the past couple years, we have demoed several remote control slope mowers. And out of those, the only remote mower that worked on all of our hills was this Bomford slope mower from R.L. Parson and Sons Equipment. The other mowers we tested either had remote control issues, wouldn't hold the hills, wouldn't climb our hills, or just had some other problems that just the mowers would not work where we needed it to work at. The Bomford mower has several attachments that you can get for it that makes it more than just a mower. For example, you can get dozer blades, a front end bucket, sweepers, a snow blower, a blade to push snow with, a stump grinder, a trencher, a wood chipper. They make several different attachments for this that make it more than just a mower that we could possibly utilize in the future as well. We currently have part-time staff that weed eat a lot of our hillsides during the summertime, and the staff normally ends up getting poison ivy, twisting ankles. By having this mower, we won't have to have staff weed eat these areas. We'll be able to use this on our hillsides to cut these weeds and the bigger brush. The forestry head that the water department is graciously purchasing will cut up to 4-inch brush or honeysuckle on the hillsides, and it just about eliminates it into mulch as it chops all that up. So it'll be a great advantage to have that mowing head along with the flail mower just to cut grass. ODOT demoed this mower along with a competitor's mower a little over a year ago. And this Bomford mower way outperformed the other mowing unit. The mowers were comparable in price. They had the same features, but this Bomford mower, you couldn't compare the other mower to this one. We had to get up on the hillside and restart the other competitor's mower several times because the remote control was not functioning with the mower. We had that happen with us as well. I just did not feel comfortable going with that manufacturer, noting the issues that we had, noting the issues that ODOT had as well when they did a demo with this mower. I did reach out to the street superintendent at the city of Englewood. They purchased this exact mower a year ago. They have been using it for a year. They are extremely satisfied with this unit. And they've used it in some areas that they never planned on using it. And they would buy another one tomorrow if they had to turn around and get one. This remote control mower is on the NJPA pricing contract. The street department will purchase the mower and the flail unit for $84,864, and the water department will be purchasing the forestry head for $14,239.20 for a total of $99,103.20.
You know, I can remember before I was on the commission, when I sat on the Parks Department, Park Board, and talking about the need for a slope mower for safety for our employees, trying to run those mowers up and down the hills, et cetera. So I'm glad that we've come to find one that's going to work for us and keep our employees safe and get the job done, so.
It's taken a little longer to get one of these than what I anticipated. With demoing these for so many years, we kept hoping that they would come out with the next generation that would fix some of the bugs and some of the issues that we saw with some of the other units before spending. These are obviously very expensive mowers, and we wanted to make sure that that it will do everything that we need it to do. I'm very confident after our demo, ODOT's demo, and along with speaking with the superintendent of Englewood, and just with the reliability that they have seen in the unit. Parsons Equipment, they're about an hour away from us, and they are the U.S. parts hub for all of the Bomford equipment. So they have parts in stock for this unit all the time. That is a really good thing for us. If there's a breakdown, we always look at that in anything that we purchase. I look at parts availability, I look at parts pricing, and it's reasonable, and I'm confident that they'll be able to service this for us.
I'd just
Thank
like to point out that the NJPA pricing is national pricing bids, just like state contract, but this is national level, so.
Okay, great. Any questions or comments from the commission on this resolution?
Yeah, how was this mower configured when you tested it? Did it have tracks or did it have wheels and tires?
It had tracks on it.
Okay. Now, how much damage are the tracks going to do when you spin it around at the top of a hill?
Not nearly as much as you think it would. The advantage to having the tracks is that you can mow the hills sideways along with mowing up and down. Our current lawnmower that we have right now, we have to put a person on it, and they are mowing straight up and down on the hill. Now, granted, that mower is designed to do that, but we have an employee on a piece of machinery that's running up and down a 35-degree slope. And in having this, we won't have anybody on it. The operator will be able to run this mower from the top of the hill, the bottom of the hill, within 600 feet of the mower from a safe distance. And we won't have an operator on the machine anymore.
Okay, thank you.
It's a very good advantage.
Yep.
I like the no poison ivy. It's not going to cost us any part-time people, though, will it?
No, no, it will not.
All right, anything else from the commission? Any questions or comments from the public on this resolution? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution.
Okay, we have a second?
I'll second it.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor of resolution number R-110-18, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to resolution number R-111-18.
A resolution to levy assessments to pay for the cost of nuisance abatements.
Ms. Welker.
Thank you. This is our annual legislation to assess costs for abatements to property taxes. What happens is throughout the year, the city abates nuisance conditions on properties such as cutting grass, picking up trash, any other maintenance issues due to a violation of a city ordinance. What happens is a property owner is notified of the violation and given a time frame to comply or correct the issue. If they fail to do so, then the city abates that condition through a contractor. We then bill the cost of that along with administration costs and any penalties back to the property owner. If they do not pay that bill, it shows up here on this list, and then it gets assessed to the property taxes. We're permitted to do this once per year with the county auditor's office. I will mention that we've decided to go ahead and institute a new procedure. You're going to be seeing this more often. We're going to be doing this quarterly because we've had some issues where properties change hands in that year's time, and owners coming in and buying these properties were not aware of these costs. So we're going to try to eliminate some of that by doing this quarterly with the commission, and then we will post those notices on our website and try to let realtors know to check for these assessments.
What about newspaper publication?
Right, we could do that. We could, try all kinds of ways to get the information out there. I know the newspaper usually covers that through these meetings, so hopefully that will generate another outlet.
Okay, this list is very long. There's 6 pages of this.
It is.
Yeah,
I'm
and I'm
looking for my name.
noticing the same names that we see every year on some of these properties. that-
Right, a lot of these properties, a vast majority are vacant. Either the property is going through a foreclosure or it has not completed that process. Some of the property owners are deceased. And until they go through probate in that process, we continue to, get complaints from the neighbors that it's not being maintained. So we continue to do these things.
I'd like to add that in addition to the quarterly presentations, tonight you will see that this is a resolution rather than an ordinance. So there will no longer be 3 readings. Once you approve the resolution, it will be immediately sent to the county auditor for assessment.
Great.
Thank you. Okay, any questions or comments from the commission on this resolution?
I like that it's going quarterly.
I do too. Yeah. It's just, and I have calls from so many people who live next to a lot of these
Yep.
properties, and, I know that we're working on some things that we could do to kind of help move these along, but at this time legally, there's nothing we can do to do that, so. All right. Any comments or questions from our public on this resolution? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move we adopt resolution R-111-18.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to resolution number R-112-18.
A resolution approving the purchase of part of in-lot 9001.
Mr. Smeezing.
This resolution seeks authorization to purchase a .149 acre portion of the property known as 219 Spring Street. The property being purchased, upon the purchase being complete, will be combined with a slightly larger tract of land that was purchased late in 2017 with the intent of the two properties collectively providing for a developable piece of property. This is consistent with the intent and planning documents statement with regards to readying the site for potential redevelopment in the future in conjunction with the riverfront redevelopment efforts.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission on this resolution?
Chris, the whole building in stripes gets removed, doesn't it?
So
The whole building that
the
has the
old-
striped roof?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
The entire structure will be removed.
all right.
What's the total investment in this? At this
The,
point, you said?
The purchase for this piece is $75,000.
And the other?
The structure to be demolished is $10,000 to $15,000. The prior purchase was $250,000.
Now, do we have anybody lined up and looking at this to develop that particular spot?
We have, no commitments, but we've had very positive conversations with several developers
Okay,
who are interested.
all right, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the commission? Any questions or comments from the public on this resolution? If not, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to resolution number R-113-18.
A resolution awarding a contract to Double J Construction for the Fort Piqua Plaza paver modification project.
Ms. Havener will provide the staff report.
Thank you. The brick pavers out in front of the Fort Piqua Plaza are in pretty bad shape. A lot of them are broken up or settling, causing a trip hazard for the people utilizing this facility. So we went out in July 3rd. We received 2 bids to replace these brick pavers, and the lowest bid was through Double J Construction. They are actually the contractor currently working on the roundabout, so we've done quite a bit of work with them, and they're very capable of handling this project. And their goal would be to start this in early October, so it could be completed before the gala that's going to be hosted there in November. So there will be no interference with that.
This is the area between the plaza and the boulevard on High Street, correct?
This is just south of the library, so it's not in the median, it's not in the boulevard, but it's actually in front of the library. That
Thought
goes,
we did that once.
that hasn't been done since the Fort Piqua Plaza. We seal the concrete crosswalks every couple years.
Now, are we gonna make these out of colored concrete, or are we actually putting pavers back in?
These will be pavers again to match everything else that we have in the downtown.
Why would we not go with the concrete?
concrete
Because it'll last
will-
longer.
It will, but it requires to be sealed as well, so there is an additional expense with that. And everything else down there, we're not replacing all of them, we're not going around the corner, so it won't match up. You can tell the difference between brick pavers and stamped concrete.
So are they gonna give us a lifetime guarantee on this?
No, they won't.
Well, then we probably ought to go with concrete, because they'll last longer.
It will last longer, it's
That
more
way the
expensive.
citizens get more for their money.
It is more expensive up front, and like I said, there is a, every 2 or 3 years, you have to go in and seal all this. There is a long-term maintenance with that as well.
So what's the longevity of the brick pavers?
For some reason, when this part went in with the Fort Piqua Plaza, they did not use our City of Piqua standards. So everywhere else downtown, some of the streetscape was put in, and Chris, you might know better when some of that went in. 2000-ish. So the majority of the downtown is 2000.
I think also for the historic structure that it is, you don't want to be mixing the two types of things around the plaza. There's a lot of places that we want to use stamped concrete, and there's good places for it, but I don't know that I think you'd have some problems trying to mix those two at that facility.
So your answer was, how long did it last?
A lot of them that we have downtown was put in 2000, 2001.
They last about 17 years?
Oh, they're still going strong.
Okay.
The ones down, I mean, it's just this area for some reason. But everything else we have downtown a lot of it was put in 2000, 2001, and there's no issues with them.
Is that when these were initially put in, around 2000?
No, these were put in when the Fort Piqua Plaza was redone in 2008, 7, 8. but we're
These
not.
only lasted, what, 10 years?
But they, for some reason, they were not put into the spec that,
Heavy
they weren't put
traffic.
into the spec that we use for everywhere else. I'm not sure. This was put in as part of the Fort Piqua Plaza project. And I'm not sure why I wasn't on that, but I don't know why they weren't put into our city spec, but they weren't.
Okay.
All right, any other questions from the commission on this resolution? Any questions or comments from our public on this resolution? Not, I will entertain a motion.
I move to adopt resolution R-113-18.
I'll second it.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
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 How many?
Okay, let's do a roll call, please.
Mayor Hines,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Nay.
Commissioner Martin,
Nay.
Commissioner Lee,
Nay.
Commissioner Short.
Aye.
Okay, so the resolution does not pass. And now we move to resolution number R-114-18.
This is actually a resolution that, well, I'll let you go ahead and read the thing, so.
You're doing fine. A resolution establishing trick-or-treat beggars night in the city of Piqua.
Each year, the Miami County Council designates the trick-or-treat beggars night, and this year, they have determined that Tuesday, October 30th, from 6 to 8 p.m. will be the designated time. All the municipalities in the county adopt this time period for this to be done at one time during the year. So that's the date they've set.
Okay, any questions or comments from the commission? Any questions or comments from our public? I think it's important to make note for our public that it will be Tuesday, October 30th. I think that's what I saw, Tuesday, October 30th. So,
So will that be highlighted like several different places so that people will remember?
Yeah, and
Published and
people
stuff.
start asking really
Yeah,
early too. so,
Early.
yes.
Yes, they do.
yeah, Tuesday, October 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. So, okay, if not, do we have a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to resolution number R-115-18.
A resolution authorizing the lease of space on the city of Piqua, R.M. Davis Water Tower.
Mr. Birch will provide the staff report.
The subject location has been identified as a suitable location for fixed wireless antennas for NK Telco. The city entered into an agreement to lease fiber to NK Telco in 2017 in order for them to serve businesses and residents. The antennas are part of NK Telco's plans to support the build-out of their fiber network. The antennas are the same type of antenna already on RM Davis water tower used by the Water Department's SCADA communications, which NK Telco assisted the city with installing. NK Telco is currently in the process of building out their portion of the fiber network in various locations. They're currently working to obtain demolition permits and will soon be demolishing the former water treatment pump station at Roadside Park. They plan to build a telecommunications hut there. In addition to the build-out in that location, they are currently working to extend the fiber network along Commerce Drive from Sunset Drive to RM Davis Parkway. Their plans include building a telecommunications hut close to the the Commerce Drive RM Davis Parkway intersection. As agreed to in the fiber lease agreement in 2017, NK Telco has been paying the monthly lease to the city since July of 2017. This lease is another step in NK Telco's process in bringing services to the city of Piqua, businesses, and residents in the future.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission on this resolution?
Yeah, if somebody else wants to lease space on that tower or all of our towers, are they able to do that?
Yeah, and we can talk to anybody who wants to do that. The one thing, and I forgot to mention here, these are magnetic mounts that we're putting on the antenna or on the water towers. So we probably would want to keep that type of antenna. We don't want to
drill into the water tower and the integrity and the structure of the water tower. But yeah, any other company who would want to, we can talk to them about leasing.
Okay, so if another telecommunications company wants to come in and lease space on the water towers, they can too.
Yeah, I mean, we would negotiate with them. Once again, there'll be a limited space at some point. Right now, these antennas are small enough that, you know, if somebody wanted to come and put the antennas like they're out on East Ash, those are different types of antennas that are much larger. We may not be able to allow that on some of the water towers, but these magnetic mount type things, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
If I could add, when this came forward, they presented a lease, and I rewrote that lease to be consistent with the leases we currently have. So there is a lease with the Amateur Radio Club. Those leases require very specific terms, such as if the tower needs sandblasted, painted, they're responsible for removing their equipment, paying for any repair, removal, those types of things. So we have made those lease agreements consistent in the city.
All right, thank you.
All right, any other questions about this resolution? Any questions or comments from our public on this resolution? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move we adopt resolution R-115-18.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. Now we move to resolution number R-116-18.
A resolution requesting authorization to enter into a contract with Vectren Energy Delivery of Ohio for the installation of gas facilities to 121 Bridge Street for the wastewater treatment plant.
Ms. Havener.
Thank you. Currently, the wastewater treatment plant operates off of fuel oil, and with the improvements going on out at the plant, this seemed like an opportune time to bring natural gas to the site. So this would allow for Vectren to extend the natural gas down Bridge Street to be able to service the existing plant as well as the future buildings that will be going in with the new construction and the new treatment processes.
Okay, thank you. Any
How-
questions? Oh, go ahead.
How are they gonna get the gas across the river?
It's already, it's at Garnsey and Bridge right now, so they'll just come down Bridge Street.
Already
Bridge
across.
is the corner, okay. All right, because I was thinking we changed Garnsey, or a section of Bridge to Garnsey, and it's like, okay, so where are we at now? But, okay, I got it figured out, thank you.
Anything else from the commission on this resolution? Do you have any questions or comments from the public on resolution number R-116-18? If not, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to resolution number R-117-18.
A resolution for consent to award a contract to Milcon Concrete Incorporated for the construction of the Commercial Street Utilities Project.
Mr. Shield will provide the staff report.
Good evening. As I think Commission knows, on February 22nd, a small sinkhole formed on Commercial Street between Miami and Young. It was discovered that it formed because a storm sewer had collapsed. Underground Utilities investigated and found that along that stretch of Commercial between Miami and Young, we also had a sanitary sewer that was in very poor condition. We continued investigating upstream and downstream and found that a significant portion of the storm sewer going to the south along Commercial, along with the storm sewer between Roosevelt and Commercial, along Grant and Young, also needed to be replaced. There was a lot of erosion on the invert of that, the invert being the bottom of the pipe of that storm sewer. So the project grew in scope from that collapse to approximately 3,250 feet of new pipe when you combine new water line, new sanitary sewer, and new storm sewer. We're also replacing 6 catch basins and 20 manholes as part of this project. We went out to bid, opened the bids last week. We had 5 bids. The lowest was Milcon. We recently worked with Milcon last year with some fine results, I think. So I look forward to working with them again. The project is going to cost, let's see, $485,848.65. That includes a 10% contingency. The funds are split up between the stormwater fund, the wastewater fund, and the water treatment fund, since all 3 utilities are part of this project.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission on this resolution?
Yeah, the 1,900 feet on Commercial Street, is that basically going the whole length of Commercial?
That starts at the corner of Miami and Commercial and goes south right up until it doesn't, if you can imagine where Garnsey would come in and hit Commercial, that's south of South Street. That's about where it stops.
Okay.
Anything else from the commission on this
Well,
resolution?
my question is this: why did we leave all that new construction and go? Now we're gonna have to tear it up, put the sewers in.
Yes, you're actually correct. One of the things that we've put into place because of that situation is that before we do a project of any type, we go in and survey all the infrastructure to make sure that whether it needs to be replaced. A good example would be over at Shawnee, where we're getting ready to pave. We're holding off on a couple sections of roadway because we found a sewer and a storm sewer that needs to be replaced before we pave. So you're correct in that, and I believe that we have put in place a way to prevent that from ever happening again, because that's the last thing we want to do, is going to do a project and then have the infrastructure below it collapse. So.
Okay, anything else from the commission? Do we have any questions or comments from our public on this resolution? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number R117-18.
I'll second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. And now we move to the public comment portion of our meeting tonight. Do we have any public comment this evening?
Good evening. My name is Larry Hamilton, and I live at 1104 Maplewood Drive in Piqua, the past city of opportunity and now a city on the grow with a contemporary vision for future development. I am only one, but I am one. I can't do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do, and what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will do. Over a decade ago, I had an epiphany. It was a Christ-inspired illumination on doing the right thing that merged a calling in discipleship with a passionate interest in teaching Black history as a means to promote a cultural understanding of our inclusive historical heritage. This personal vision for Piqua was always intended as a collaborative effort, but little did I know the personal creed of I am only one that I had taught my students had now become a truly empowering means to exhibit a faith walk in recognition that I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Armed with a measure of this understanding, I purchased a historically relevant property to begin telling our story, a narrative on the Randolph manumission, and a struggle for freedom of African Americans in settling Piqua and the upper Miami Valley of West Central Ohio. I attached what I call ownership identity to that property site at 655 North Main Street in naming it the Randolph and McCulloch Freedoms Struggle Complex. Before the purchase, I was made aware by the realtor of the adjoining property that was the old Miami Erie Canal land that had been owned by the state of Ohio that I believed controlled the Miami Conservancy levy, as well as I was told and given the assurance that the owner of the property was able to exercise a lease agreement or arrangement with the state that in essence gave the purchaser owner the control of that adjoining property. Not being a real estate mogul or having the ability to hire my own fixer attorney, I did my own due diligence in making numerous inquiries, both at the state and the municipal level in the city of Piqua and at the Miami County offices. But after I purchased the property, the ownership and legal status associated with leasing conditions shifted under a grant from the state of Ohio to the city of Piqua. In an ongoing effort to continue to share with the elected and appointed representatives of the city of Piqua, I was told recently that there would not be time to hear my partnering proposals due to greater efforts being extended to other more relevant and desirable proposals for future development in the city of Piqua. While I was disappointed by this attitude and reaction, I thanked the administrator and soon realized that this decision created a unique opportunity to share directly with the people of Piqua through utilizing the right of citizens in this public comment portion of the City Commission meeting. So I've decided to take the opportunity to share my thoughts directly with the people of the city of Piqua at every commission meeting until further notice. Please view on YouTube my personal vision for Piqua by Larry Hamilton. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Larry. I know that it's an important story. It's an important part of our history of our community. So I thank you for the good work that you do to continue to remind us of that, Larry. Any other public comment this evening? If not, we will move to the city manager's report.
Thank you. I recently provided you some handouts which indicated the amount of economic development activity that we've had recently. There's been a tremendous number of new businesses that have opened or will be opening shortly. The list is quite extensive if you look at that handout. And also the number of expansions and renovations that have taken place are underway. So a lot of activity happening within the city right now. Also, just a note there, one of the graphs was population. And as of 2017, city population was 20,987. That is the highest population level in the history of the city. And I would anticipate that this year, once we have the numbers, that will certainly exceed 21,000 for the first time. So we are trending very positively in a number of ways, and hopefully we can keep that trend going. The economy is certainly helping with new businesses investing and businesses expanding. We still have a challenge for our businesses located here of finding employees. And that remains a situation that we're trying to work with various the schools and so forth to try to train employees to be able to fill a lot of those manufacturing jobs. So trending upward and things looking much better. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Vogt?
Haven't got a thing.
Commissioner Martin?
Yeah. One of the things that I've been getting beat up on is the garbage trucks and what they're picking up and how. And I was wondering, how many garbage trucks are we running a day?
I'm sorry, Amy's left. I'll get you that number tomorrow first thing.
Okay, well, I'll give you the whole list then after the meeting, and you can get all the answers.
Be happy to.
Okay, that's it. That's all I have.
Okay. Commissioner Lee?
Hey, I want to say congratulations to the Residents' Pride winners. Nice homes and people maintaining them. I'm very impressed. I want to remind everybody that school has started and to watch out for our young people and for the buses that are on the streets. Please obey the laws. I'm happy about the economic development that's going on. We had a great economic development guy, and we got one equally as adept, it seems, in the city manager since he's been filling the spot. He's doing a great job. Appreciate all your hard work.
Chris
And
has actually been doing all the work.
there you go then. Well, Chris, thank you very much. We appreciate that as well. And I like that the population is growing. I think it's an upward trend and a positive note. So, and with that, that's all I have.
Commissioner Short?
I have nothing to
Okay. The only comments I have is we are, as you know, that we are in August. We are almost in the end of August, hard to believe. We've had a variety of wonderful festivals, wonderful activities happening here in the city, and I want to highlight one of them. Our Farm to Table Dinner was a phenomenal success, and this year it was held at Canal Place. We had a little question about the weather, but the weather kind of blew by, and it was a lovely evening with great food from our community. Locally homegrown, home prepared, and it was just a wonderful celebration of our community, and we sold, I think almost every seat was sold out. So it's the second year we've done this, so I commend all the organizers and people that put that on. It was a wonderful, wonderful evening. And that is all I have. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.